back on the road. It feels great to be back out here. I haven't really hit the road like this and done an extended trip probably since Hurricane Milton came through and I evacuated in the truck camper. So I'm looking forward to spending quite a few days out here and really testing this thing out. As you guys know, this is a new build for me. Tonight will be my first night sleeping in this van, officially the first night that I spend in here. I got a lot of driving ahead. I am on my way to New Orleans. Going to be going to Jazz Fest and hanging out with some of my good friends who I haven't seen in a long time, and really looking forward to this trip. The other goal though is to just kind of test things out, get a feel for this space, see what it's going to be like to actually live in this thing, and figure out where I want to end up putting my cabinets and where I want to build that closet that I keep talking about. I got a lot of different ideas, but I don't really know how they're going to work until I actually start spending time in here and kind of figuring out where things go. Right now, everything is just kind of scattered in the back. There's not really a home for anything. So that was my first tank with everything loaded into the van, and it didn't really impact gas mileage at all. In fact, it actually might have improved it a little bit, which is kind of weird. I do have to put the roof rack on with the with the 2 solar panels up there, so that'll add a little bit of weight and probably some wind resistance. I have noticed that the computer in the Promaster tends to overestimate fuel economy. For whatever reason, it shows usually 1 or 2 miles to the gallon higher than what I actually get when I calculate it out manually and divide the miles driven by the total gallons used. But even for the last tank, I calculated it at like 21.95 miles to the gallon. To put this into perspective, I drove all the way from Southwest Florida past Tallahassee, and that was about 350 plus miles, right? And I could have probably gone an additional 100 miles. That kind of range, being able to get that in a van, I don't think I've ever been able to do that. So I'm pretty excited to see how this keeps working out, and I'll keep you all posted. I'm definitely a nerd when it comes to fuel economy. Keep in mind though, I am not a lead foot. I drive 60, maybe 65 in the right lane. I take my time. I am in no rush to get where I'm going. I would much rather get better gas mileage than get somewhere 10 minutes faster. It's been a very long day of driving. I'm exhausted. Just pulled into a rest area just off of I-10, and this will be it. First night in the new van. You'll have to excuse my lack of lighting. I've just got my smartphone light on, no other lights installed in here, and at the moment I actually don't have any window covers up there either. I mean, I have obviously the windshield visor thing, but the front side windows have no covers, and I don't have a curtain either, so gonna not have a ton of privacy in here, but I'm thinking that it actually might be okay. It is a little weird sleeping with no covers on those 2 front windows. It lets a lot of light in the morning. Eventually though, I'm gonna have a closet for where my guitar is there, and that's gonna block off a good portion of this area here, and I might do something similar on the other side, and then maybe I could just do a little curtain just for the bed area, and then vent my AC out here, and that would actually allow me to cool the bed area a little bit better on a hot night, or if I'm trying to take a nap during the day or something like that. First night in the van was definitely a success. I will say though that that new mattress is quite firm. Definitely firmer than I was expecting. There were a couple of times throughout the night where I woke up and didn't have feeling in one or both of my arms, and that might just be part of me getting older, I'm not really sure, but I am a side sleeper, and I have a hard time with these firm mattresses in my old age. Figured while I'm driving by, might as well go check out one of my all-time favorite beaches. There's a slight chance that there's a little wind swell in the water out there. I checked the buoys, maybe something that's like longboardable. I did bring my carbon compact 2-piece board, so hopefully we can get in the water. I'm gonna drive around and try to find a sandbar. It's just such a beautiful morning out here. I'm gonna paddle out, you know, there's basically no waves, but there's a couple of people out there, a few dolphins as well. One just breached, I just saw in the lineup, so just gonna enjoy it. Get out for an hour, paddle around. It beats not being in the water. It's been a lot of that today. I'm not complaining though. There's been a couple good ones, and as far as I'm concerned, every wave is a blessing.
That's one gas camp, Will.
I just want to give another quick shout out to Mike Becker and the guys over at the Carbon Compact. This video is not sponsored by them or anything like that, but there is no way that I am fitting an 8 or a 9-foot longboard inside this little van, and I certainly don't want to sacrifice any roof space because I'm going to be using that entirely for solar panels. So without them, I wouldn't really be able to make the most of super small days out there like this. And I'm really grateful that they exist and that they do what they do. So be sure to check them out. I'm going to put a link in the description below to their website, thecarboncompact.com. It really is pretty crazy how much Pensacola Beach has changed over the years. I just don't remember it being this busy and this built up. I feel like there's a lot more people here. I first started coming down here maybe 15 or 16 years ago when I was living in New Orleans, and I would come over here basically anytime that there were waves. Any cold front swell that we had, I was making that drive 3 hours to come down here and surf. I really got to know this place and really kind of fell in love with it. It's a really cool town. But like this Ron John surf shop here that we're passing, that was definitely not there. There's a bunch of hotels that have popped up, a couple restaurants. It's just a lot busier than it ever used to be. It's crazy to see that change throughout the course of my life. Look at all this traffic over here just to get onto the island and go through the toll. I'm glad I didn't have to wait in any of that. I got here just in time. That's one way to get welcomed to New Orleans. That car was on fire. Hopefully everyone's okay. It looked like everyone was fine. They were able to get out of the vehicle, but it was up in flames. That was crazy. Been a great trip. I always love coming back to New Orleans and spending time here. As some of you guys may know, I lived here for many years and it's kind of like a second home for me. So being able to come back to this amazing city and spend time with my good friends who are here It's pretty special. I really had a nice time. Jazz Fest was awesome. It was great. The van's been working out really well. You know, overall, the bed actually has been pretty comfortable. I've gotten used to it. The first couple of nights it was a little different from what I was sleeping on before, so it took me a little bit to get used to it, but it's been pretty solid. And the vent fan's been working fine. Been able to keep cool in here at night, no problem. Stays relatively comfortable. This little USB fan has been amazing. $9 on Amazon. I'm excited to get everything else done though. There's a lot more to do with this build. Definitely will be at least a couple more van build videos. Got a long way to go between painting everything, cleaning everything up, trimming out the ugly parts, building these cabinets, building the closet, fixing the storage under the bed, installing the air conditioning unit. There is a lot left to do on this van, but I'm excited. I want to get back and get working on it, and I think after spending a few days in here, I've really realized exactly what I'm going to need to do to make it into a really comfortable home on wheels. I will say that I am probably going to break down and put some sort of window covers on those front windows. They actually make like magnetic ones, the same company that does the ones that I have on my back windows, which are obviously not actually windows, but those have been really nice. I really like those. They stay up. I'm probably going to do something like that for the front windows, and then ironically enough only use them when I'm not trying to be stealthy. I find that you can't really see in these windows. I've done a couple of tests and had my friend look in the other morning, and he's looking in, and unless you go like full on creeper mode, like face up against the glass, it's really hard to see during the day because of the glare of the sun, especially if I'm just in the back curled up in the bed. And once I get those cabinets up in the closet installed, you're not really going to be able to see me back there. So for stealth camping, I think it would give it away if I was to put window covers up there. But when I'm just camping in a friend's driveway or out boondocking, I'd really prefer to not have to wake up as soon as the sun comes up and it's blaring in, you know, heating up the van and then also just shining right in my face. Got to spend one more evening with friends. We went down to Dauphin Island, Alabama, and spent some time on the beach yesterday. And then last night I stayed in Mobile. And this morning it is officially time to get back to reality and back on the road. I still have about 8 or 9 hours left before I get to Southwest Florida, and it'll be time to kind of get back into things. I'm also going to be trying to get caught up on work as well while trying to manage driving all that distance. So I got a lot to do. The next couple of days are going to be pretty busy as I make my way back, but I'm looking forward to getting back and, you know, getting to work on this van and really turning this little camper into a home over the next couple of videos and over the next few weeks. It's going to be a lot of work, like I said, but I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for watching and for following along on this journey. I'll talk to you all again soon.